Dr. Andy here. Today I want to talk about the 3 elements of pain, musculoskeletal pain, and the treatment that we do here in our office, okay? So it's really common. Patients come to the office and you guys really frequently ask, hey, what is causing this problem? You know, is it a muscle issue? Is it a joint issue? Why am I hurting, okay? So in most cases, unless, you had no pain whatsoever and then you got into a car accident and suddenly, oh my God, I'm hurting. Or you had no pain and then you were out playing soccer, you get slide tackled and then suddenly you come up with a hamstring injury, right? Unless it's really that obvious, more often your pain is related to the sum of all of the kind of the microtraumas that you have been dealing with in your life. And the most common of those are things like work ergonomics, posture, the way that we sit, the way that we drive, the way that we sleep, right? Little things, stress, gravity, little things that add up constantly throughout your life that brings you to the way that you are in now when you walk into that office. So it's really hard for me to answer the question of what exactly is it that's causing my pain in terms of, is it this joint, is it joint or is it a muscle problem? Because the answer is it's both, right? It's a little bit of everything. There are 3 elements to most musculoskeletal pain or conditions, especially chronic problems, okay? You have a joint element, you have a muscle element, and then you have a movement or a coordinated movement problem, okay? So what I mean by that is joint, usually we have some joint stiffness, right? So you're coming in with that low back pain, that you develop from sitting too long at work, right? When we get in there, we're gonna start to push around, we're gonna notice that, hey, that low back on that right side is really stiff, it doesn't move very well. And you'll probably notice that and you'll feel kind of like stiffness, right? You might come in, you might say things like, wow, I can't bend forward, I can't touch my toes. If it's a neck problem, you can't, look and, check your blind spots. That's because you're feeling really stiff. Those joints themselves are a little locked up, they're not moving very well, okay? So the first problem is the joint. The second is muscles, right? So muscle spasms almost always accompany joint issues underneath and vice versa, meaning that we have muscle spasms and then we realize we got some joint issues underneath as well, right? So joints, muscles, that's when you kind of feel like that broad-based pain where this whole region kind of aches. Oh, I got the pain in my low back and it goes across my low back or kind of up and down, right? That broad-based discomfort, aches, that's muscle pain, right? The last part, number 3, is coordinated movement. What I mean by that is a movement pattern, right? So we have some joint issues, we have some muscle issues. What that causes is it causes your body to start to move a little bit different, right? Think about the last time you twisted your ankle or you stubbed your toe or something like that and you start to limp, right? That limp is a adaptation that your body is doing in order to be able to continue to walk while you have an injury. Well, your entire body does that. If you hurt your low back, you're not going to go ahead and you're not going to do a squat normal, right? Or you're not going to be able to get in and out of a chair like you would if you didn't have low back pain, right? So that new way that you're squatting, that you're getting in and out of a chair, that's a coordinated movement pattern, right? How your muscles and how your joints are operating together and in sequence, right, of how the muscles fire in order to perform that movement, right? And when we get hurt, that pattern is interrupted, right? You can't do that squat like normal. You can't get in and out of that chair like you used to be able to, right? And the problem is that when we get that and then we don't fix that and it sets in, it becomes our new normal, the new way that we get in and out of a chair, our new squat, which over a period of time makes the problem worse and worse and worse, okay? So those are the 3 elements of most musculoskeletal conditions that we see here in the office. We got a joint problem, we got a muscle problem, and we have a motor control or a movement pattern problem, okay? The good news is that here in this office, not in every office, but here in this office, we do all 3, right? So very common, what are chiropractors known for? We're known for the chiropractic adjustment. We're known for the joint manipulation, okay? That takes care of the joint problem. If your joints are stiff, a chiropractic manipulation and chiropractic adjustment, it really helps with the mobility of those joints and restoring the motion in those joints, okay? So that's the joint issue. Next, muscles. What do we do for the muscles? Of course, we do some soft tissue. In this office, what do we really specialize in? We specialize in shockwave therapy, okay? So we have focused shockwave, we have radial shockwave. Both of those, when you combine them together, knock your socks off. It is amazing for breaking up old muscle spasms, new muscle spasms. In that soft tissue, maybe a tendon issue, regrowing healthy tendon tissue, right? Getting in there and breaking up the damage and, getting stem cells in there and regrowing brand new tissue from scratch. So there's a whole lot of things that we do for for the muscle issues, all the way from, regular old fashioned, massage techniques to dry needling to Graston. But really in this office, what do we really specialize? What I really mean by that is what is the most effective, and that's shockwave right now, okay? Lastly, what do we do for the motor control, right? That's where rehab comes in, right? So most chiropractic offices, you're gonna get an adjustment, maybe some E-stem or rolly table or something like that. It's working on the joint, mobility, but you're leaving off the table the soft tissue and you're leaving off the table the movement patterns. And that's where we kind of specialize and come in and do those soft tissues and then bring exercise into your care here in the office and homework that you're gonna have at home in order to reprogram those movement patterns, get back to moving the way that you did before your injury, right? And that's gonna help deal with the pain, not just now, but in the long term. So if pain has 3 elements, joint, muscle, and movement pattern, you have to address all 3 of those: joint, muscle, and movement pattern. That's what we do in the office with adjustments, soft tissue, like things like shockwave, and then adding rehab into your care, okay? Hopefully that explains a little bit. If you have any questions, send them my way, and always remember to live with passion, not pain.